Remix. 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 Remix.
Yes, welcome everybody to the Remix Morning Show here on Black Liberation Media, the greatest morning show in the history of all media. Please do like, share, subscribe. I'm Jared Ball, happy to be your host. And finally, Solo got rid of everybody. I actually don't know where everybody is. I hope everybody is well. But you know, I'm here, so we'll make sure, you know what I'm saying? I was expecting it too. I don't know. I don't know. Ashy Knuckles got to be a top 5 nickname. Chitty Matcha first up in the building. The best social media warrior. And Quaker Anarchist. I don't know, where's Quaker Anarchist been? They all right? Cynical. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yes. What's good, Africans? Peace, peace. So, as folks come on in, please again do put this in your socials. Like, share, subscribe, invite others to join you. Head over to blackliberationmedia.org. Link in the show description. Get you some of this fly merch. So I had some breakfast this morning using the Saturday's mug, because these mugs are great for food as well. And then, it's messy. Got to clean that up. So, I hope others are here, are able to join, and in part because I'm having the same kind of internet issues I was still having yesterday when we were taping tomorrow's Saturdays with Renee, and I don't know if I'm be able to yeah, I don't know where everybody's at. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And folks can check that out at I Mix What I Like. If folks would like to see the talk that I and Baba Zach Kondo gave Wednesday over there at Baltimore City Community College. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the internet connection over here. I think it's working for me, but if I try to share something, it's gonna collapse. Uh, so yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of Juneteenth. Sac passe. Peace. Good to see you all. Let me send out a text here real quick and see if anybody's planning to make it. But nonetheless, we'll make it through. It's all good. It's all good. And what I have a workaround, I think that helps a little bit. I have a workaround, I think, for at least sharing some text. Kind of sucks that I wouldn't be able to share any clips, I'm afraid. But let's see what. Let me just open this up here. Woo, woo, woo. Oh man. All right. So Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to share that. So what I'm gonna do is let me share it this way. Let's try it a different way. Um but well, a former CIA agent said Iran is gonna hit the US with a cyber attack. First of all, I'm sure there's all types of attempts at that already. Uh between what the US does to other countries. Remember a few years ago? Man, it's been a minute now, actually. But there was a news report that the NSA had um, one of its devices, some technology stolen, and the technology was what allowed people to perform a cyber attack while cloaking it as though it was occurring through from someone else. And uh, so I just thought the story was funny because, of course, it just suggests that anybody could then be doing anything under the guise of anybody's flag and name, and then, of course, we have no idea if the story was true, of course, and then it originated with it being US technology. So it could, eh, quickly become, one of those things where the US is responsible for any number of things while making it look as though others are, and then, of course, vice versa, and everybody's out here trying to get over on everybody else. So but so let's see, if we do it this way, I think I can make use of, let's see, if we do it like this here. But, so I do apologize. I'm not sure where my comrades are. Again, I hope everybody is well. And then I'm also not thrilled with my own technological issues here, and I have no answers for them. So there's that. Um, let's see. Uh, it's just taking a little longer to get this part set up, but should be able to. Let's see. Transform. Let's see. Edit the transform. No bounds. And then should be able to do it like this here and like this here. So I don't know. I've unfortunately not seen if it's been covered here or not, but I'm going to bring it up only because no, that's not going to work. Whoops. Let's move this over here. Man. And then if I go like this over here, and then we go like this over here, boom, we get a story up. So I think Erica's on vacation or traveling, future Dr. Brown, but she did leave us at least with some of these stories. And your boy Tyler Perry, you know. So I will always continue to, I will forever bring it up because I suffered the work. It's been some years now, but I did co-author a journal article some years ago about Tyler Perry's class and race analysis embedded in his films. And to do that work, so this is like 10 years ago already. So up until that point, I had watched every film that he did, and they are atrocious. I mean, just as films, before you even get into the white supremacy, the anti-blackness, the black capitalism, the colorism, the disturbing versions of black womanhood. Wait, did I say who? My boy? Who you talking to? Did I say? Oh, yeah. Your boy is Tyler Perry. Where can you find the paper? I will put the link to it. Let's see. Where can you find the paper? Let me do a quick look for it real quick. I think it's on my academia page. Let's see if I got it there. I should revisit it now that I just I felt the level of trauma watching all those movies. And um so I haven't even revisited the paper. Here we go. So yeah, you can get it at I'll put the link. I'll drop the link. Let me make sure it shows up. Actually, I'm not even sure now what's happening here. Once it takes you to where you can download the paper. Yeah, allow the download. Okay. So if you go to my academia page, I'll just put that link in, and then you can scroll down. You'll see here. I'll put the link in the chat in the comments. Jared in the chat pulling up stories and not getting talked over. You're gonna play some numbers today. Yeah, I should. Oh, dang! I didn't even realize. I was sharing this. So yeah, here's the. This is the. All right. So this is the paper. To the extent you can see it, and I put the link in the show description. Tyler Perry and the Mantan Manifesto: Critical Race Theory and the Permanence of Cinematic Anti-Blackness. It's not a bad title. Co-authored by me and a former colleague that and other than watching, I mean, it was I'm just looking at it again. Now, what we did with the Mantan Manifesto, that was what actually one of my favorite parts. It's actually we took it um from Bamboozled, Spike Lee's Bamboozled. To insulate the network and staff from community hostilities, Goldfarb, remember the white woman, and clearly meant to be a Jew. Uh, they wanted to highlight that point. The white Jewish Yale University PhD in African American Studies, who had been brought in to help them put together this new Millennium Minstrel show. She offers what they call the Mantan Manifesto. And the Mantan Manifesto is something that we argued Tyler Perry followed perfectly. Can I just let me see if I move this over to here. Yeah, here. I can show it right here. If I go like this, go like this, go like this, go like this, go like this. Here we can get the whole, I think I get the whole Mantan Manifesto right there. You can see the whole thing. Just and this is what Perry has used quite well as a self-defense. Gainfully employ African Americans in front of and behind the camera. This is what they said to us. All the people say it all the time. Don't hate on Tyler. He hires black people. Then let the audience decide, right? Because he's going to have the audience, particularly the pop cultural moviegoer, on his side. Who are you going? Are we going to be the cultural police? Jared, stop hating. Who determines what is black? We're not saying anything about the entire African American community. Of course, what kind of blackness? I can be black any way I want to be black. Tyler and others have used that all the time. This is simply satire. It's just a movie, and if you don't like it, F them. And then lastly, wear always smile, wear kente cloth, refer to Dr. King, and remember the show was created by a non-threatening black male. Yeah. So we basically sort of extended that, extrapolated from there, that point, from that point, and um I thought, built a workable analysis of at least the race and class elements, and again some of the colorism elements of in Perry's work, which were, I mean, it's just a lot. Yeah, this isn't bad. This paper isn't. It's all right. It's all right. The bottom line is the Tyler Perry's movies are just a mess, and uh, and then he, just like, I just saw the story with Byron Allen winning his lawsuit. It's that same kind of thing. Everybody, it's a real abuse of the experience of black people. Really, it's rally the black community when it's time to get mine. And then, regardless, of what you want to say about people's spouses, and then kind of similar to this story here, I, who's shocked, if we borrow from Kamal's analysis, who's shocked that Tyler's accuser is white? The man part isn't a shock either, I don't think, right? But the white part isn't a shock. By the way, I saw, it was messed up too. Somebody had put a comment. Dr. CBS was just on with um Brianna Joy Gray, right? I think, just again. And somebody sent me a screenshot of a comment where, and salute to the commenter, they were asking for Brianna to invite me and and several others from this platform onto to her show as well. And one of them that they said was also, they meant to say Kamal, but they wrote in the comment Kamala Franklin. And I know it wasn't meant to say, like, they were meaning to be, they weren't meaning to do that, because given the context of the comment, but it was funny. And I was like, Kamal would be mad if he saw that. It was just, but they said Kamala. Like, so the next time we beef, that's what I'm gonna call. The next time I'm arguing with Kamal, I'm gonna call him Kamala Franklin. Nah, that's terrible. That was trifling. And Kamal hasn't been on Brianna Joy Gray's show before. That doesn't that I feel like, didn't he go on there to talk about City? Kamula Frank. I still think Kamal Mao is the best. That's my favorite Kamal cognate. Kamal Mao. Yeah, but I feel like, didn't. Anyway. So let me just see what this says. The sued Tyler Perry sued for sexual assault. Oval actor claims years of harassment and more. He's facing an accusation of sexual assault, a claim coming from an actor on his long-running TV show, The Oval, and on one Tyler's camp calls a scam. Derek Dixon filed a lawsuit against Perry in the docs. He claimed the director met at an event in 2019, picked him out of a crowd, got his phone number. This show can't be good, right? I mean, it has to be new levels of terrible, right? Gave him a small role in the show, acting gigs. In the docs obtained by TMZ, Derek claims Tyler got into bed with him and started touching his thighs. And although he rejected the advances that night, he claims Tyler remained interested. Sexually suggestive texts. Wait a minute. This said assault. Is that the I don't mean to be disrespectful. Is that the assault though? Is that that was the level of the assault? It is assault. Let me not diminish it. But and yet I guess I am. Is that the level of the assault? Someone who would be loyal, independent. Derek says he fears his career would be derailed if he flatly rejected Tyler. So instead, he told him he just wasn't the sexual type. But he was always terrified he'd lose his job if he complained of sexual harassment. Mm. Perry greeted him warmly, quickly started sexually charged conversation, like asking him if he likes it rough in bed. Ooh, ugh. And then grabbed Derek by the throat. Okay, there we go. That now we're talking about assault. Look how I got excited you got. All right, that's messed up. You grabbed him by his throat, son. He he says he pushed Tyler away, and that was the end of the alleged incident. That's enough though, and that's not I mean, that's just assault. Is that I mean, you could call it sexual, but I feel like that's I mean, isn't it how is that how do you differentiate? I mean, because he said he got aroused, that makes it sexual? No straight man would be going on walks with you or cooking dinner for you unless he wanted to F you. I would F you. Wow. Mm. Yeah, alright, that's well, that's gross, and, I hope they yeah. There's more, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, I should have warned myself even before reading that much. Alright, everybody, wash your hands and put on another layer of clothes. The Boondocks did call it. I mean, that was a wild episode. I'm sure it was inappropriate. I don't remember the details, but I'm not gonna front. I remember I laughed throughout, but I just feel like they probably went too far. Yeah, no, that's assault. I'm saying I'm acknowledging I'm wrong for diminishing it. It is assault to climb into bed and rub someone's thigh. I don't mean to I'm just acknowledging that when I read the word assault, I was expecting something else. The throat grab, more along those lines. But climbing to bed and rubbing thighs without, that's any unwanted touch is assault. Um, so I acknowledge the I don't know the bias, maybe the shortcoming of my I don't know, whatever. But yeah. Let's see. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's do this. Let's check this story out. Uh, and good people, please don't let whatever has been the confusion around our schedule and my comrades this morning discourage you in any way from supporting or recognizing what is the greatest morning show in the history of media, the Remix Morning Show here on Black Liberation Media. And Have you all read let me ask you all this. I had to while I'm getting this next piece ready, and I apologize for the tech issues too. I don't know what is going on. But have you so this book chapter I'm working on and that I've been talking about forever, and it's it's like 5,000 words, and I feel like I've climbed the intellectual Everest. Man, I had to tell somebody. Man, just recently invited me to write something in a another, and I can't. I had to turn them down. I was like, I can't take on another project. It is taking me way too long. Uh, I just struggle. And it's not a right I don't think it's a writer's block. It's like a writer's it's an issue of organization, and I guess it is a form of block. I don't know. Just trying to figure out how to say and organize the work. But the feedback I got, because I did finally do what more of us should do more often, myself specifically. I workshopped it. I went to that Hopkins workshop, and I got good feedback from the editors of this volume. And the final feedback was uncomfortably congratulatory. So, uh, but one of the suggested minor edits for this last round involved, because the volume is about structural violence, so they asked me to refer directly to Johann Galtung. Have you all read his work? One of those good European pacifists. And so I've been reading his. I had only heard and read in passing his name and reference here or there, but his violence, peace, and peace research article from the Journal of Peace Research in 1969. And it's deeper than I'm sure I'm getting to, but or understanding, but it's essentially just that there are many forms of violence and peace. And what I'm most interested in is his argument, as I understand it, around the idea that, and it's reminiscent to me of McLuhan's "We don't know who discovered water, but we know it was not the fish," because Galtung says something to the effect that it's that a kind of personal, direct physical violence does appear to be abnormal and kind of shocking to people in a society such as I'm saying this one is, where the structural violence is so routine almost to become invisible. So if I walk outside and punch somebody in the face, everybody's like, "Oh." And that's why, that line where people say, if you kill one person, you're a murderer. If you kill 100,000, you're a war hero or something like that. But if you punch somebody in the face, everybody's like, "Oh, the violence." But if you say, okay, but what about the violence of poverty or incarceration or the trauma inflicted on Black people that has been measured to be the equivalent of fighting in the front lines of a war just by being Black in this society? Then people are like, "Oh, you're a critical race theorist." Or you do it to me, something like that. So I like his point. But anyway, anybody, I don't know, anybody, I'm just quickly skimming the chat. Does his work mean anything to anybody? Anyway, I thought there was anyway, so I'm working with that. But initially I was saying all that on the way to be trying to set up this thing, but my bad. I'll get there. Dang. This is a bad time for the who's this? My fault. Somebody just pulled up to my house. Who is this person? All right, let's do this here. And then we'll go here. Boom, boom. If I turn that on there, boom, there we go. It shows up there. Look at that. Look at that. From the Huffington Post. FIFA World Cup ticket sales tank after DHS says agents will be at the stadium. And good. So, in fact, my daughter and I have to have a conversation about that. We were talking about the World. So, in case folks who don't know, because I know you all are super excited, so many of you are super excited about this story. The Club World Cup is happening right now. So that is where, and I honestly don't know how they determine who's in, but um, the World Cup is when countries send their national teams to compete. The Club World Cup is when professional clubs send their clubs to compete every 4 years in this event. And where it allows for top teams and teams from different leagues from all around the world to compete against one another. And you see teams play against teams you would never see them play against or rarely see them play against. And it's happening right now. There's a game yesterday or today and next week as well, right up the street in Philly. My daughter definitely wants us to go, and we're definitely not. Uh, Now the reality is probably can't really afford it. The all told cost would be just a little bit beyond, but it would be something I would have initially been willing to consider, but nah, no, 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 no. And I also have other family members who have already stopped the process to prepare for the World Cup next year. That is preparing to go to games, come to this country. Maybe maybe what we'll try to do is go to see the games that are taking place in Mexico and Canada because Mexico and Canada share the World Cup next year with the United States. Maybe that's the move. Let's go to Canada and Mexico and watch the games there. But I think in general that they should be boycotted. We shouldn't be going. I'm not the biggest fan of boycotts, but I actually do them, and I'm going to do this one. I don't want to support FIFA, and I don't want to support the club. They should be boycotting playing here in the United States. Tickets to the opening match that were once $349 could be had for just $4. Oh, maybe I can afford them now. Psych, Jack, psych, psych. Now I'm going. Sales for the FIFA Club World Cup, a series of precursor games ahead of next year's North American World Cup, were already lackluster when last week U.S. Customs and Border Protection bragged online about how its agents would be suited and booted and ready to provide security for the first round of games. Really, the tickets were lackluster already. That's interesting. At about the same time, Immigration and Customs Enforcement told NBC Miami they'd also be at the games providing security and told the outlet that all non American citizens should carry proof of their legal status. But how are they determining who's legal and not? Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are we supposed to I'm supposed to just show up and trust that they're gonna say that I and my family members are American. And by the time they find out you're an American, who know what level of abuse will you have already suffered?
Aha! Aha!
That's how they could use the paper bag test. Latin Americans come in all flavors, though. And in my unscientific experience, I think his unscientifically studied experience has been I'm often identified, especially nowadays, I'm identified by who I'm with. I have a feeling I brought up Bamboozled earlier. I think nowadays, like I feel like I would be MC Search's character at the end. Shoot me too. Get me too. Yeah, I don't know nothing about these good Spike Lee movies. At about the same time, ICE said that they'd be at games providing security. Alan Regalado. What kind of Regalado? The lawful travelers have nothing to fear from these measures. CPP is working with FIFA to facilitate the lawful travel of players and fans. FIFA World Cup force event. How is it facilitating the lawful travel? Man, just leave, man. Safeguard borders and welcome to the world from international arrivals, championship to championship dreams. We're here to keep it all running strong. Oh wow, that's an amazing crock of nonsense. According to the prices tracked by The Athletic, tickets sold for $349 and up after the matches were announced in December, dropped to $69 ahead of Saturday night's game, with tens of thousands of tickets still unsold. Good. Don't go. Look at this. If you need a reason not to go, there it is right there. President Trump holds the new FIFA Club World Cup official ball as FIFA President Gianni Infantino and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem watch. If you ever needed a reason, I don't know what you're doing in the back there, Amber. I don't know what you waiting for some special. You wait for some special red carpet.
It's always a hating ass light skinned nigga.
It is. It is. It must need to be.
So I feel like when 7:55 hit, you was at your house. You said Amber ain't saying nothing to me. Why? Maybe I should check on her.
Oh, so now it's my fault. So we're doing band camp, football camp rules. If your roommate is late, you do the push-ups too.
I'm saying, you need me. Why would you let me oversleep like that?
Wow. I told him when I got here. I was looking forward to being solo. I was like, let them sleep. Finally.
Man.
The show to myself. Hold up. What time did I text you though? What time did I?
I think maybe like 20 minutes ago.
8:04. At 8:04, I texted you.
I ain't gonna
34 minutes ago. And it's my fault. My apologies. Shame on Jared. There we go, Miss Andrews. Tell the truth. Shame on Jared. Amber's late. Shame on Jared. Look, get it. Look, there it is. There it is. Shame on JB. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Rob, this really the issue. Amber don't like when y'all don't check in on her well-being. Y'all left her in the clink and now you let her oversleep. Why you don't give a fuck about me?
Oh, man.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah. So I don't usually oversleep, but when I do, it's like super dramatic. So I woke up 5 minutes ago and I said, fuck. And I jumped out of my bed. I knew I overslept because it was light outside, because I usually am up at like 5:30. So I was like, damn. Yeah. It's really
Thank you,
fault.
love. I am.
I was doing too much for Juneteenth.
Are you turned up for your delayed freedom?
Very much turned up.
She did say the clink, right? I haven't heard that term in a minute. The clink.
Yeah, that's what
you're too young for that word. Aren't you too young for that word? I feel like that's a
clink. No. Zinzi said Amber, and once again the show is saved. No,
it's all right, Zenzabel. It's all right. I'm not mad at that. I
went to the Ken the Man and Mauna Leo concert that I've been waiting on for like a month. because they came here for
I don't know nothing
Juneteenth.
about that.
You know, Ken the Man, that's the girl whose song I played. You said it was too raunchy.
Oh.
hmm He was like, ooh, it's a lot. My ears. I said, oh, whatever. Anyways, I had meet and greet tickets for Mauna Leo. And I don't like when they do the meet and greets after the concert. I like when they come, you know, you come early and you do it before. So I texted the promoter guy because I actually met him at a different concert last week. And he was talking about it, no, like 2 weeks ago. And he was like, did you buy tickets? I said, yeah, I bought tickets the first day. So he's like, oh, let me know when you get there, I'll buy you a drink. So I got his number and I asked him about the meet and greet thing. He said it's after the concert. I immediately was depressed. I said, shit. Because the concert was from 5 p.m. to 11. I knew for sure I wasn't getting there at 5. So I asked my friend DJ Ivy, who's like a really big DJ here. I was like, what time is your set? Because I know that you're probably going to do your set right before the people come out. She's like 7:45. So I got there like 7:30 something. Mind you, I'm hungry. They said the wristbands don't have no re-entry. I said, ooh, is there some food in here? Then I found some chicken tenders. So I was good with the world because I was finna risk it all. I said, I don't know if I can do this. But my social battery kicked in and the chicken tenders revived me and I was good to go. And I made it to the end. I made it to Mauna Leo set. And Ken the Man was first and Mauna Leo. I love Mauna Leo so bad. When I say a performer.
All right. That's important. I don't know nothing about any of these folks. So that's that I appreciate
told you
the
she's
update.
like a pussy rapper, and you was like, oh, I don't listen to that. Yeah. I was like, yeah. She's a great performer though. And then afterwards, I had on this very cute outfit. And afterwards at the meet and greet, she was like, I love this. I feel like you was trying to match me. I was like, I know you like the pink vibes. I was trying to make sure my picture was cute. She said, I like that. I fuck with you. And somebody was videotaping it. So it was so funny because we were having a whole conversation. She's really cool though.
Do you know who Cyrock is? Do you even know who she is?
I don't know, but drop a song I should listen to.
She's a little bit older than your generation, I think, but definitely younger than mine. And a brilliant MC.
Brittany, I would not say that Amber is a stan. I would say that Amber is a legitimate fan who actually listens to her music. But I also don't do a lot of meet and greets. So if I do, I feel like I do it because I feel like the person's gonna be normal. And she's very regular. And I like that. I don't like when people be like super celebrity and like don't stare at me too hard. I like when people are regular ass people and be like, thank you so much for coming. That's a cute outfit. Like a regular interaction. Plus, I'm not a big like dresser upper. I like how Jerry just left. He was waiting on this. He couldn't wait for me to come so he could just dip off. It's insane. But no, it was a really good concert. I don't know if y'all thought about what I did for Juneteenth, but I was a bad bitch for Juneteenth. It was very much giving a bad bitch renaissance. And I can't wait for the summer. Because I'll be a menace all summer long. It's going to be a great time. I'm trying to see if I can show y'all a picture of my outfit that won't get flagged on the internet. Okay, yeah. That's what I wore. And I had on like some platform heel things with it.
And I was waiting. I needed a bio break. So I had to.
I mean, you could have said something, but it's cool.
I could have, but I just took the moment. And I was right. I was right.
I love how my favorite thing about girlhood and having friends is how like outfits are a whole like group experiment. Because I was like, y'all, I think this is what I want to wear, but I'm not sure. So then we was like literally, I was taking videos of the outfits. Then I was sending them outfit like options with the shoes. Then I was sending them like sunglass options, and they really got me together. Share the pic. Hold on. Esme, are you saying share the pic with Mauna Leo or something else?
Yeah, because otherwise it didn't happen. That's what they're saying.
Oh, okay. Hold on. It definitely happened.
And make sure, folks, that you do like, share, subscribe, support the platform.
See, that's Mona Leo. She's very little, very cute. Definitely little. I didn't think she'd be that tall, and I was right. I feel like you couldn't see the picture that good, but I mean, just imagine it. I don't know. I posted it on my
Imagine it.
Instagram if you want to sit on there. A is for Afro, but yeah.
All right, right on. I
See, Stone Rebel gets me. They said exactly. I looked for my top for 30 minutes last night and almost missed the event because I got to make sure that I look good. You know?
Oh, I didn't finish my point on FIFA. Oh, my apologies. My
You got so excited that I showed up.
the point was, well, that's of course the point was that Gianni Infantino, the head of FIFA, and taking pictures with Donald Trump and the Homeland Security Secretary is evidence of the overlapping and bad politics of Infantino, of FIFA, of the corporate influence on sport and
we're talking about FIFA, the soccer shit, right?
Yeah, in fact, even the colonialism or the function sports play in maintenance of colonialism and neo-colonialism. So if on top of that they're saying not only do we have this unified effort of FIFA, Trump, Homeland Security, ICE, and then we're also going to be at the games to enforce it, knowing that you have a huge international fan base, especially for Club World Cups, and especially more so, of course, for the World Cup taking place next year.
Fan base, Jared?
I was, but I will not be now because I'm not, and I'm certainly not taking my my Afro Latina daughters to know.
Wait, who in your family is Latino?
My wife is Panamanian.
What?
Yeah.
They only a quarter black.
Oh, if you go by the narrow definition of Black American, yeah.
I mean, yeah, Panamanians. I guess you could say black.
I mean, if you go by the African diaspora, then they are 3/4 African.
They good in the hood.
But yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, I'll be finding out people don't have 4 black grandparents at the most random moments.
Well, they wouldn't have had 4. I mean, they only get one set from me. You know, because
at least had 2, maybe 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't be in people's house business. I don't know what nobody's wife look like. I don't know what nobody's husband look like. I don't know what nobody's kids look like other than Kamals. I really be minding my black.
So is that why you cut off your continental African dating, to make sure that that if you ever have children that they have 4 Black American?
I mean, I still talk to a few African niggas.
Thanks, John. One drop.
So funny. No, I still date African niggas. It's one bothering me right now. That nigga said,
no, but I'm serious. Would that play a role for you in determining the extent you follow the relationship that you want? Are you wanting to keep it?
I don't believe in miscegenation at all. Like, I feel like you got to have 4 black grandparents for me. Like, honestly, I've
Black
dated
American
people,
exclusively.
I mean, those black grandparents can be African, Puerto Rican. They can be,
okay, so they can be of the diaspora.
They can be of the diaspora. They can't be white. Like, that's all. It's really my one contention. I'm really not into like the white.
I mixed what I like. Absolutely.
But not North African. I don't date them North African niggas. They think they white.
Now, it is true that, as Elon is pointing out here, that my wife is a brown skinned woman, and I will say that when we first met, and this is partially my own, I absolutely did not, and my because I grew up in a very, very narrowly limited. You either black or white. It's either it's just either black or white. So we were in and I love the way we met because we were in the McNair program, the introduction to the McNair program, and Ronald E. McNair, who was the black astronaut who died on one of the was it the Challenger, one of them.
Yeah.
And they created this scholarship that was supposed to be for minoritized students who had not had family experience with grad school. So we were in this thing, and we're all at this big table introducing ourselves, and I see, and all I saw was this pretty teeny
Brown
tiny
skin.
pretty woman, brown woman, but it was the way. See, I'm always like, the physical attraction is always obvious and immediate, and I get it.
Mhm.
But the real hook is the intellect and the.
That's what keeps me locked in.
So the way she sat up, being a physically small person, but the way she sat up and the way she spoke, and she used the word efficacy. And I did not know what that word meant.
Efficacy?
Yeah, because
Like
her research was on
or something
it was
else.
like her research was on something about psychology, the efficacy of such and such would something be of value to black and brown people, was basically what her something. And I remember thinking, I was like, she's cute and she projects like that and says stuff I don't know. And I immediately concocted a way to ask for her number after the after the meeting, because I was like, and there was a couple cuties in there, but I was like, that was the hook. So I said, so yeah, but I didn't know until later. I didn't know that she was Panamanian. I just assumed she was,
A-Rob said, Amber low-key asking why you was impressed by the word efficacy. I was not. I was just trying to make sure. Listen, you know, like
I'm not ashamed. I don't know
you
everything.
Know when you be at a spelling bee and they be asking you to use the word in a sentence or what's the definition. I like to know, because some words I be thinking I know what the word is, but it be having a different meaning. I be like, oh, that's a different word.
Look, this wasn't yesterday. So like I was, a bit younger when this happened. So, I mean, but no, I didn't mind. And I've never minded. Like, again, like one of the reasons why Lauryn Hill, I even with her low amount of output, I struggled to push her out of my top 5, is because I learned 2 words from her versus back in the day on The Score. She used the word puerile. Your whole style is puerile. I was like, I don't know what that is. And then cacophonic, when she said your whole style is cacophonic. And I was like, cacophonic?
You together.
But I like that. I was like, that's why I was like, oh, she's fine. Now she's fine to me. Because
niggas start saying words, I'm not sure of the meaning, but I think I know. I'll be like, oh wait, you got me. You like me. I'm locked in now. I'm back on it. But
you got to make sure they're doing it for real, though, because we'll play with you. We'll grab a word and be like, let me just throw this out there real quick.
Niggas ain't gonna play with me, so I'm never worried. I feel like if you playing it, like if you really don't know what you're talking about, it comes off quick.
Robin, I'm trying to put you on game.
Giving us youngins a blueprint of how to know when we found our one. I mean, yeah.
Sure. A lot of people can look good and can present like a little cutie, but you need that added.
I don't discriminate. I date 5s and up, so you average.
I wasn't ready for that 5s and up.
Yeah, I just.
Oh man.
So
now I'm curious. So, but
in high school was Panamanian. And I knew that it was a big deal because when I went to college, my teacher was not Panamanian, and he said that she was teaching us Panamanian Spanish because I'd be talking and like we'd be talking like Spanish with each other and stuff. And he was like, "Yeah, but we don't say that like that." He was He was from Mexico. But I loved her. She was a great Spanish teacher. She definitely was super sweet and taught me a lot. I did a BA instead of a BS so that I could do a Bachelor of Arts to take arts classes and Spanish classes. Because I also feel like I like art a lot. Like I am very talented in drawing and stuff. I just don't do it as much anymore. And I knew I wasn't going to be an artist. So I was like, well, if I'm going to get a BA, I can just do some art classes on the side and also do like some Spanish stuff because I really like Spanish. So I did like some higher level Spanish classes too, and I had a good time. It was fun.
So I am curious. So would so you wouldn't date someone who is quote unquote mixed to keep the four black
Yeah, probably
yeah.
not.
How
Honestly, it
does
depends. I've dated someone who was mixed who had uh a white mama.
Mhm,
And I do think that I mean a black mama. I think there's a
mhm,
big difference in mixed people that got black mamas and white mamas. The one with the black mama, I actually didn't even know he was mixed at first.
mhm,
And then I dated somebody who had a black dad, white mama, and I just felt like he wasn't really into his blackness
mhm,
per se. And I mean, honestly, it's not really a big deal to me as long as you're not anti-black. And he was like saying some random anti-black shit, and I could just tell that like it had been ingrained in him. And I
mm,
didn't like that. And I was like, I'm also not your parent. I'm not a teacher, so I'm not gonna teach that out of you.
mm.
And it's just not my like vibe. But no, I don't usually date mixed people. I mean, in reality, mixed people don't date me. I feel like the most people who hit on me are white men, for one, because they're psychopaths
Oh, that's
and
interesting.
just regular ass niggas. I don't really get hit on by mixed people. I think that they see the
Is there any science to this stuff? Mixed dudes can be abusive in my experience because how they're socialized. Has anybody ever put any studies to anything like this? Because I hear stuff like this all the time, and I just struggle to obviously my biases, but I struggle to see differences in that as like I don't see fully black people or fully white people or fully Asian or whoever being statistically less or more likely to be a mess.
Mm. Yeah,
But
I've never heard
yeah,
that, but I have heard that people have had like adverse experiences with someone that has a white mom versus a black mom.
sure.
Also, I do agree with the comments that say they were all mixed, which is why I usually say for black grandparents because I feel like that's easier. And for black grandparents, those grandparents
Mixed or
be
light skinned men are mostly psychopaths if they're attractive, like Obama.
oh Lord.
So
Hey,
then
somebody
I'm way better looking than Obama and I'm lighter skinned. So I must
I
be a
really hate how people
complete
be wearing them
psychopath.
Obama t-shirts, like graphic tees, like, you know, the Obama old era t-shirts, they be wearing them like graphic
Hmm.
tees. Somebody got on stage last night to sing some song with Mauna Leo and hit on one of them shirts, and I said, "Not an Obama shirt," and people could hear me, and they was cracking up. They was like, "No, yeah, why they got an Obama shirt?" And she was so funny. I turned the whole crowd against them.
Used to be how people would call out somebody wearing a Cosby sweater. And I don't know if we can do that anymore, but that used to be a thing for a minute.
You
But
know? I
this is a
mean,
wild ass conversation, Robin. I know. But you called yourself 5 and below. So you're the wildest one out there.
I just
Robin
wanna
says she's
say,
5 and below, so she's cooked.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I have never shied away from being shallow. I just want to say that. Like, y'all might not have heard
Maybe
me talk about it, but Jared and Geechee have heard me talk about it. It's not a secret. I don't pretend, and I think that that's okay. I feel like as long as people are honest, then it should not be an issue. I have never shied away from that. Very shallow,
I
not like super super shallow, but I definitely am like they got to be fine, and they got to have like these specific things. I'm a little shallow about those things.
I don't my goal is not to redeem the mixed community, but and I and in my experience, anecdotally, my experience with other so-called, at least in terms of black white mixed folks, is uh has been wildly diverse. So I remember I worked with a dude and we had almost came to blows because he was so heavily defending his anti-blackness and justifying his complete, because my thing was always whenever I see black or any whether you're fully black or mixed whatever, if their whole social group is white, I always to this day I feel sorry for them, and some of that is personal experience. I know they're suffering
There
when
was this
you are.
girl who posted a whole story
Mhm.
about that, like about only having white social. She's black, but she only had like white social
Completely unhealthy.
interactions. It was
Completely
very, she's like, she
unhealthy.
didn't realize how like some of the main like ideas that she had were like rooted in anti-blackness because she went to school with all these white kids until she went to college and she joined like some clubs and stuff, and then people were like telling her like, hey, that's anti-black, like that should not have happened to you. Like she was talking about like traumatic shit and didn't even realize it. And I was like, see, I'm so glad.
So I always think it's funny when I meet black people who have like a decidedly black experience but have no affinity for nationalism. Because my thing it's kind of become a joke is that it's been my experience with white people that made me a black nationalist. Like, you
I mean, how do you
can't-
define black nationalism?
Well, mine would be more. If we had an honest, like a more full discussion, it would be more along the lines of revolutionary nationalism. You know, the idea that black people are an internal colony, but part of an African diaspora and part of a anti-colonial movement. But I just meant but the joke is just any form of nationalism is what I would claim in response to my experience in white spaces. And my other joke has been that nobody knows white people in this world better than Black America. And within that group, those of us with a white parent know them better than anybody. And I do think that there has been an insufficient level of mixed race and critical radical analysis on that subject. Now, I was late to and haven't really involved myself in what's been called even in critical mixed race studies too much, but what I have seen has just not risen to the level that I would want it to. I once thought that I would try to write the thing that I thought should exist, but that's just not me, going back to where I started the show this morning.
Is that realistic for you?
The level of the quality of the writing and the research, and then the ability to produce it is beyond me. The level that I'm thinking needs to be, or that I was looking for, that it included my kind of politics. It's been a minute since I've seen his work. Jared Sexton's work at one point I thought was approaching it. But I don't know. I just didn't keep up with it enough. And I'm just not the one for that. But I do think if there's a little bit more honesty that came out from a radical perspective from this mixed community, we might. I don't know if I used to think we might get somewhere as a human race, but I no longer have those. But there might be some value, greater value,
because like black nationality is important for people to like when they're developing like their own political ideology. I do think that's important, like to decide like what do you. Because I talked about that with somebody before too, and they were like, I'm just not sure because they don't believe in like the new African revolutionary shit, but they do believe in like black nationalism. And people always ask me like, what do I believe? Because I don't believe in like patriotism and like American shit. I don't believe in any of that. And I was like, blackness. I mean, I don't know what else there is. Like I for sure believe I'm being trapped here by invisible borders. And if you would let me go, I would leave. But you know.
And yes, love, I am. You said your daughters are half Latina too. Do your kids speak Spanish? Absolutely. My kids are incredibly fluent, and my wife was like, they're going to know Spanish because
there's one thing about a Panamanian, they a little aggressive, baby. Our teacher was on our ass. She was scary sometimes. I said that right now. I was a little traumatized after my first year, and I started taking Spanish in 10th grade. She hit us with flashcards. I had like a stack of 100, 150 flashcards. I had to know multiple words the next day and do sentences. It was too much. I was struggling. But eventually I got it together. But she was hard on us. And I said, y'all all don't act like this because there's a different Spanish teacher in the school where she don't act like that. She from Mexico.
Well, I mean, well, my daughters started from scratch, so it was very easy for them to learn. For a number of reasons, the fact that I started so late has caused me to struggle. But
I do think when you start younger, it helps. Like, I mean, I don't have the best conversational Spanish, but I still can understand people because I learned it starting in like 10th grade. And I did 2 years, an extra year, like an extra semester in high school. And I did 2 years in college of like college level. So I can understand people. And I used to work at Marshalls when I was in high school. And a lot of people that shopped at the Marshalls that I worked at were Hispanic. And so I would help them like find different things. And so I can still like read like different shoe sizes and like different clothing items in Spanish just because I did it for so long. But when I stopped working there, I kind of lost some of my conversational Spanish. And so I just don't like, I'll talk to my friends who speak Spanish. Like we talk all the time, but like other folks, I don't do it as much because they talk fast and I already talk fast. So imagine a Spanish speaking person talking fast. That's too much, but I can
Mi
understand.
español es mal. Love, I am mal.
Yo hablo mucho español y pequeño.
Muy pequeño. Un poquito. Un chiquito. Chiquitititito.
So nothing.
See, it's
for real,
mal.
y'all. He got about 6 words in him.
And I've said them all.
Somebody said somebody in the chat said Amber was outside. I just want y'all to know this was the beginning of me defrosting for the summer. Okay. I've been inside all month long. This is my first thing I was going to. I was gonna act a fucking fool. And I did. Also, a random black girl fell out behind me. And I said, I'm so glad that I have basic medical knowledge because she dropped to the ground and I was like freaking out in my head, but I didn't freak out on the outside. But she was standing next to me and I looked at her, I said, she looked like she about to pass out. I moved up. She grabbed the little wall thing I was holding on to and she fell to the ground and I immediately like got her up. So proud of myself. Because I don't never know. I'm one of those people who I don't know how I actually will react in the emergency until it happens. Like for this year, it was the first time I actually experienced a fire, not in my house, but next to me. Never knew how to react because I never experienced it. I was freaking the fuck out. I said, oh, I'm not disaster ready. So I didn't know how I was going to handle the girl falling, but she's okay. We got her up. She's just overheated.
So it's funny, just what I just said, by the way. I just looked it up and I'm afraid to try to share the screen because I think I'll end up crashing if I do. But as of just 2 days ago, Panama arrests banana union leader after Chiquita strike ends. So the Chiquita banana strike, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in Panama.
Ooh, really?
And Panamanian authorities have arrested the leader of Citrabanya, one of the banana workers unions behind a 6-week strike, which paralyzed Chiquita's operations, prompting a layoff of 6,500 workers. But
Ricky
Francisco Smith
in the chat about her cousins being Trini and Panamanian and not speaking Spanish. The nigga I'm dating in New Jersey, he's Trinidadian, but he's half Trinidadian and he doesn't speak Spanish either.
Francisco Smith faces charges of crimes against public safety, damaging transportation infrastructure, and disrupting public order for orchestrating the roadblocks, which cost the multinational more than $75 million. Man, good for them. That's what I'm talking about. Strike more.
Fuck that shit up.
So yeah.
I love when
and AI says
strike. I love when people revolt. I love it all.
AI said there's a whole bunch of stuff happening and like there's a lot of there's more than that still going on in Panama.
Why are you asking?
I'm just because I just did a quick Google search. I just did a quick Google search and that's what came up.
Put the AI down, brother.
No, I didn't pick it up. I'm saying it just came up as part of that initial search on Google.
On the Google
so I was just sharing.
You know, you could turn that off. I turned mine off.
Oh no, I still want to see what it says. I don't, but anyway, yeah. So I don't know Margaret's book on Panama. Marcus Garvey, Communism in the Caribbean. I don't know that book.
Ricky said, Jared, can you mention Margaret's book on Panama, Marcus Garvey, Communism in the Caribbean? Because people need you to read the questions out, Jared.
Oh, well, thank you for doing that, though. Thank you for being here to help out with that.
And accessibility is important. Did I tell you the story about how me pushing for accessibility in the city council meetings made the other city council members do stuff too because they felt like they weren't doing anything? Because it's a bad look when a regular ass citizen has to be the one to tell you to get some fucking sign language interpreters and better handicap accessibility and free parking. So then they were like, well, let's go ahead and get them a mother's room too so they can breastfeed. And I was like, mm-hmm.
Oh,
hold on, let me pull this one up. Oh, Dirty said, we can read too, Amber, LOL. There's actually some people who need us to read the comments out loud. Some folks don't have the screen. Like if you're watching on Twitch, there's no video and some other stuff. And also some people can't read the actual screen. So we should just be more accessible.
No, but well, one, so Ricky's saying that I had her on my show. I don't remember. Let me see something here, but I don't remember her name being Margaret though. So the one, the show I remember for sure, which is on the platform here, Panama in Black, is so I'm probably thinking of somebody else. Keisha Corinialdi, the historian who came on to talk about race and her book Panama in Black, which I thought was fantastic. And to this day, and Yvette Modestine has been on, but I don't know who the.
Justin said some of us are listening while we're working too, so they aren't able to look at the screen. So I think Justin saying they appreciate when I read out the comments. You're welcome, Justin.
Yeah, no, thank you, and we appreciate, and that's why I'm saying it's great that you got here to be of some help to the show. It's very,
well, really
it's great. Yeah.
If I wasn't in policy, I would be like in like accessibility or like disability justice type of work. Because I really think that like people should have access to everything, and we're purposely making it limiting. And I don't like it.
My bad. Margaret Stevens, right? That's right. So I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know that work. Yeah. But she was right. But she wasn't here to talk about that book, or she hadn't written it yet, or I don't know it. I hadn't read it. That wasn't. So yeah. I just have to get caught up on that. I don't know that work. Yeah, she was on to talk about Black Caribbean communists, Dr. Margaret Stevens. And you know what? I'm late to. If you go to the front page of a YouTube channel and type stuff in the search, it searches that channel. I didn't know that till like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Because I don't be going to the page much. I like literally just search in the search bar what I'm thinking about, what I'm looking for.
So if you want to search Black Liberation Media's catalog, if you go to the channel's homepage and to the search bar on this homepage and you search there, it brings up.
Renee said, I was just in a meeting with Margaret Stevens. Come on and tell us your story.
Tell Renee, let's get her new book on, or the whatever. I don't know how new it is, but let's get the book on Panama and have her on Saturdays to talk about it.
Renee, I gotta text you too because I'm being in New Jersey.
Panama is black as hell and has a wildly racist. One of my favorite points that we got from that book, Panama in Black, was that she traces the history where Panamanian independence and liberation, so-called, was inextricably tied to their willingness to suppress black leadership and institute U.S.-style Jim Crow laws racially in the country. So there was a moment where you
copied a lot of the shit that the U.S. did. It's like something I've been learning, like in different stuff I've been reading.
They were forced to. I mean, with Panama in particular, they were forced to because the U.S. military basically carved out the region and said, "We need to use this. We need to create something different from Colombia." And
hold on, let me pull up Zinzi's comment too. Okay, Zinzi said, Jersey, Amber, let me find out. This is what happened. I actually got booked to do a keynote at a university, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to stay in the place where the university is, or if I want to stay in Newark, or if I want to just stay in New York because it's like 30 minutes away and it's just easier because New York had more options. So I'm gonna hit you up too.
It is. I don't remember what I did. Jab don't remember what he did at 7:30 this morning. You're right.
Renee said, I believe you, Ricky Ryan. Jab don't remember what he did at 7:30 a.m. this morning. And Jerry started laughing because he don't remember it. Also,
I don't.
in the comments back, someone said something about Amber being Black Aryan or some shit. Amber's actually from Guinea-Bissau, if we really want to be technical. And I
Black
found out
Aryan.
people are weird. Anyways, I found out like maybe 2 years ago, but I had already been studying Amilcar Cabral for like 4 years before I found that out. So I was like, oh, this is really
And now you
cool.
basically
And
kin.
also, oh yeah, that's my cousin. And I also feel like it makes a lot of sense because of the like makeup of my family. Like we're very much ruled by matriarchs. And the tribe that I'm from and that my family is from is also like one of those matriarchal ruled tribes. So I thought that was really cool. And my daddy from Nigeria. I think that's what it was. I bought the test for him and he did it. We did the African ancestry test, not the other bullshit. We did the African ancestry one.
Right on.
But if someone had
Shit.
asked me, I think it was the Balanta people actually. Black Wokey said the Balanta people. I think it actually was the Balanta people. Or and that's what matters, Elon, is that he was raised in Guinea-Bissau. Elon said Cabral was Cape Verdean, raised in Guinea-Bissau. You know, I think what matters is that he was in there. But
I
also,
know, Ricky, that search thing does work. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I was like, stop playing. This is such a dope find. You could find all the stuff on the channel so easily. It's so helpful.
wait, isn't Elon Cape Verdean? I just remember what you did there. I mean, I just realized what you did there, Elon. I could have sworn you said you were a Cape Verdean. Anyways, but yeah, so I found that out, but I had already been really into like
But I also think it's interesting because all of these nation states are European creations anyway. So there's no authenticity in a Nigerian identity.
I mean, it said the test actually tells you what tribe you're from. And it said the specific one. I just honestly
There
I'm
you
mixing
go.
it. I can't remember if it's Nigeria or Ghana because they're right next to each other, but it was one of those two, and it told me the tribe and everything. But it was I sent the test to my dad. Like I bought the test for him. And
So you're Yoruba and Hausa? You mixed? It's like
you're so stupid. I will just say when I say mixed, I'm automatically thinking of white people. Just to be honest.
of course.
I talk about people in the diaspora. So when you said Panamanian, I was like, oh, never mind, she Black.
No,
but
the only time I actually get upset is when people say that when they want to lump me in with all other forms of mixtures. No, I'm a very particular mixture. The black-white mixture is its own separate entity. Don't lump me in with half Japanese, half Korean, and half Panamanian, half Puerto Rican.
I just want to agree with Ricky when they said all shade to the producer.
What that mean?
I want to respond to this comment. Jay said the DNA tests are wonky. That's why I did the African ancestry one. I will say that it was very specific. I'm very like concerned about like giving my DNA away to somebody because like 23andMe people and ancestry, like keeping your shit and using it for crime labs and stuff. So that's why I use the African ancestry one because they have like a thing that explains what they do with your DNA and then they destroy it. So I felt comfortable doing that one, but also I would not have done it if it wasn't specific. I don't like the ones to tell you like you're 34% this, 34% that, 2% West African, 3% European. Like I don't like those. Like telling you that you got 9% of Ireland blood in you is stupid. I don't care about any of that shit. I want to know the exact place in Africa I came from, which is why I did that one. And I felt like it was very helpful. And then afterwards, they give you like continued information about the tribe. Because I actually want to go to Guinea-Bissau, but I don't know Portuguese, and that's the dominant language there. And so that's why when I went to Africa this past December, I went to some places in Ghana, and then I'm gonna like map out some other places in West Africa I want to go to, and then eventually build up to going to Guinea-Bissau. But I really have to know some Portuguese, so I'm trying to like work on that. But yeah, I definitely suggest that one. It's not that they don't pay me to say this, but I do suggest the African ancestry one. I do feel like it's worth it. I would say just wait until they have one of them deals. Test like $250. So you gotta wait till they got like a little coupon. I got that jump for like $189 or something on a holiday special, and it was worth it to me.
Excellent.
Hold on, Elon had a question. Elon said they only trace matrilineal data on African DNA. No, so it's two tests. So there's the matrilineal one and the whatever the P word is. That's why they had to do both. So I did the
Patrilineal.
yeah, and then my dad did the patrilineal one. Whatever that word is. My
So I
dog
just
really
went back to look.
wants to know that he's here.
They've updated mine, so mine changes over the years.
And see, I don't trust that. That's weird because they're using the DNA of other people. So as more people take those tests,
Hold
they're
up,
matching
son.
to you, and that's why it's changing over time.
Hold up, son. I got overlap with Burkina Faso now. That's what I'm talking about. Traore is my cousin. That's what I'm talking about.
Agreement. Please.
I'm claiming all of that. I love it. I love it. And it says here, I'm claiming Geechee. It says here, I went from Southern Africa to South Carolina.
Hi, buddy.
Me and Geechee cousins now too. I'm claiming all of this. I'm in. Huh?
Who you did the test with?
I did it years ago with one of them white ones, one of them bad ones. I didn't know what I was doing. And I just, since you brought it up,
specifically no, because of like, you know, the slave trade and shit. But I do think that African Ancestry does a good job of like giving you like good information. I'm trying to find. Oh, here's Leah's comment. That's what I was looking for.
I got Nigerian, Mali, Benin, Cameroon, Ivory Coast and Ghana, Yoruba land, Senegal, Western Bantu peoples.
That's just too much. I just don't trust it. Leah said African Ancestry does mtDNA and paternal DNA testing that provides ethnic grouping.
Now, these folks claim that they provide ethnic groupings too. I don't know if they're being honest. So, like, for instance, I got wait a minute. Your DNA connects you to one or more of these ethnic groups of the Cameroonian region. Babanki is one of them. Bafut.
I did African Ancestry many years ago for my mtDNA. My mother's line is Hausa and Yoruba from Nigeria. So, funny story. My best friend is Yoruba. He's from Nigeria. He like immigrated here when he was like young. He's the only one of his siblings that actually was born in Nigeria. So he's the only one that's also not a citizen. But he was like so dead set that my test was gonna be Yoruba too, because of my personality. We have very, very similar personalities. And he was like, I just feel like you got that very strong A type. Because he know I do a Nigerian nigga in. I done dated a few of them, and they got together. They said, oh, never mind. I can't do that bullshit with her. And they knew that immediately. He was like, yeah, you be scaring them. I feel like you Nigerian. And he was so shocked that my test was not Nigerian. I was like, I didn't think it would be, to be honest with you. But, you know, I feel like that's a little too dominant and too like popular that would happen. I was like, I don't feel like that would. Okay. Sorry, my dog is torturing me. Brother Jamil said, Cousin Geechee.
Cousin Geechee. I don't even know if he knows it yet. I'm about to just show up at people's door.
With Old Dirty here, and I also am claiming all of Africa as my ancestors. I do think that the borders are limiting. And also, this is why I like coming on here, because I can't talk about this on the actual internet, because when I start talking about how borders are imaginary and I don't believe in them, and people be like, oh my gosh, seriously. I was like, no, I just think that you have to look at colonialism and how it's set up. None of this shit is real. All of it is invented. And I think that borders are dumb. And we only want to put visas and all that stuff in place when it comes to, you know, going to a black country. But you can go all them other places without needing a visa, or you can go to the more, you know, popular places in Africa and North Africa and not need no visa. But you can't go to West Africa. You got to get a visa.
Stono, are you inviting me? Come fuck with us in Charleston. I'll show you around. I give tours. Is you saying come? Is that my invitation back home?
We could take a group field trip.
What group field? No. This is my return home. See, yes, this is Jared's coming home party.
Oh, you're not inviting all of us? That's crazy. Bernadette said,
I might do that. I might do that for real. Yeah, let's do it. My bad. Go ahead, put that back up. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. They said is Traore Hausa / Fulani. I'm not sure. Do you know, Jared?
I don't know. I don't know, but he better be the right one. Now that I found out that I'm Burkinabe,
It's crazy.
better be on the right team. No, I'm with all of that. I was big on that from back in the day, that if that the way I was introduced to the new African concept,
Mhm.
if we don't know for sure, we claim it all. And
Yeah,
that's
that's why I
how
told him. I
that's
was like, we took this expensive ass test. I'm gonna trust it, but also I'm just gonna claim the whole thing because I think that like that's part of the nationality thing too.
tribal
Like,
already. I know it's terrible. As soon I just needed to know what team I was on. Now that the white man has showed me my DNA and told me what team I'm on,
you gotta
it's
believe
all
that.
tribal. I gotta believe it, and it's all and I'm riding with it to the end. All lines divided up. Nah, that's we're all African, and
Hold on.
and I'll be a African.
Rob said, "Come to the show Monday in a beret, so we know it's real, Jerry."
From the tribe
Wait,
of Judah. I'm from the tribe of Judah. Okay,
you don't
word
believe
up.
in Jesus. We know you're going to hell. It's okay. I think
do
when
a
people have
tour of
accepted their
Maroons.
fate, then it's worth it. Yes, Thono said I do a tour of Maroons and SC, and I'm actually doing a Black August Freedom School, and one of the sessions is about Maroon communities. That's why I put this up. Let me think about it.
Are we going to get a sample of that on here?
Of the sessions?
Of your Freedom School class?
I mean, if y'all want, nobody asks.
That's my Rory. That's messed up.
Nobody asked me anything. Y'all want to sneak?
No, I'm asking. Now that I've heard about it, I'm asking. Can we get like a maybe even on a Friday morning, some little sample?
Yeah, I can do that. I mean, I know we're gonna Zoom some of them, so it'll definitely be available. I'm pulling up the little
Amber, I will be right back, okay?
Yeah, you're
Is
good.
that better? Okay, thank you.
Yes, I appreciate it. I'm pulling up the little syllabus for y'all now. So this is my second time doing a Black August Freedom School. Last year I did it because as part of our official Being in Memphis chapter, I do a lot of like policy work. And so I was like, well, I think it'd be cool to do a Black August Freedom School to bring some of our members into like the commemoration of Black August and like participating. So we started doing that. We did it for 2 weeks. And my job was really interested in it because we do like freedom summer schools at my job. And so I did it for 2 weeks. It was on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we talked about different topics. It was really cool. So this year the one thing they asked about was for us to have more, like to do more sessions. Sorry, my dog is lifting my arm up physically to rub on him because he's spoiled. So we're doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this year. So the first week is about the origins of Black August. The first week on Wednesday is about slave rebellions and Maroon communities. That's why I thought about the Maroon communities that you were talking about. And then Friday is the early 20th century radicalism about Black socialist Garveyism and anti-colonial ties. The next week is Monday. We're doing community defense then and now, and Dr. Umoja is going to come speak about that, talk about his book a little bit, about We Will Shoot Back, because I want to ask him, do like a discussion around the book a little bit. Wednesday is Assata Shakur and Black Women Revolutionaries, and then Friday is George Jackson Soledad Brothers. We're doing a discussion group about the book that we had already been reading, so they're already going to be reading that book, and then we'll be doing discussion groups about like what they've read so far. Because I'm giving them like specific chapters because I don't think it's realistic to expect them to read it that quickly. And then the third week, on Monday, we're doing COINTELPRO and police militarization. Wednesday, we're doing the rise of mass incarceration. That might change. I haven't fully decided on that one yet. And then Friday, we're doing prison abolition 101. And I'm going to be we're going to have like a small panel group discussion about reform versus abolition and like what is a realistic path to abolition, stuff like that. And the last week, we're doing economic liberation. Wednesday, we're doing healing justice. We're going to have a workshop on collective care, trauma, and resilience, really talking about like how do we care for our own communities in like just everyday life, not just when there's something traumatic happening. And then the last day, we're doing Black Radical Imagination, and we're going to explore some different Black literary works, but also do a discussion about like, what does it mean to have a Black radical imagination, and how can you like make sure you're fostering that within yourself? So I'm really
So
excited about it.
how do we get the syllabus and how do we attend?
So I'll have a Zoom option and it's in person. It's going to be at Rhodes College. So this professor that I worked with last year, he got a $15,000 grant last year to do it. So we actually paid the participants who came and then bought food. So there's always a dinner. We did like a dinner and discussion, and then we'll do like an actual like class portion of like an hour. And then we also paid them a stipend, which cover like transportation, stuff like that. And he got the grant again this year. So we're paying the participants again this year, but we're paying more. So now we'll have 25 participants who are getting like a $500 stipend. Then we pay people an honorarium who come to speak. So the speakers and stuff will get an honorarium. And then I think we had to pay like a little something for the space. But I'm really excited that we were able to expand it out for a full month. But it'll also be on Zoom too. So I'll have a Zoom room set up. People can come in. The classroom will be in. We'll have like the Zoom capabilities and stuff. And so they said that we can definitely do a Zoom also.
Please share the information with us, and again, please consider doing even a couple of samples on the
On BLM.
on yeah.
I
do the whole
definitely
thing
will
or
consider
whatever.
that.
Yeah.
I think even like the class we do with Dr. Umoja will be good to do on here too. Yeah, so
It would be.
I'll ask Renee about it to see if it's okay.
Yeah. Or I mean, you could even just take like, a few snippets of what you're going to say during the class and share them here. It doesn't have to be a full reproduction of it or anything like that. But definitely would want the link. I'm with all the folks in the chat that want the link.
Okay, I'll definitely share the link with y'all. I'm getting a flyer made right now for my comms department in my job. So as soon as they do that, I'll send y'all the Zoom link. It's just going to be a bit.ly that I'm going to make that goes to the class for every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But yeah, I'll definitely share that. And I can share the syllabus. I can't post a link in here because I think it won't let me. Will it let y'all copy it?
I don't know. I see a Patreon special in the making, says Renee. I agree. That's a good idea. That'd be a very good idea.
Somebody in the chat said it was weird that MXGM but I'll be coming on here, and it made me just think about the fact that I actually got into the MXGM Black Studies Summer School, and I'm really excited about it. And I was kind of nervous.
Why does I don't know? Look, yeah, I'm wondering why they think it's weird, or why they think it doesn't happen. Yeah, I don't, yeah, I don't know.
I could have sworn that some people had come on here before that were what is it called?
I mean, there's been a number of former members, starting, of course, with Kamau. I never officially left, but I was an active member in MXGM for a few years back once upon a time.
I shared the Google Doc link, and I think if you're on the phone, if you screenshot it, it'll let you like copy it in your photo album, but it's on viewer, so anybody can see it. I just want to preface that none of those speakers are confirmed except for Dr. Umoja. So do not think that Kamau was gonna be there, because I actually have not asked him yet. I just put options next to the titles, and I haven't done any outreach in true Amber fashion. So do not get excited, because I put some names next to some stuff.
Can you put the link in the private chat, and then I can even put it in the show description? Nobody was dragging you. Nobody. And I'm not even saying you're confused or needing to be corrected. I just wasn't sure. So nobody. I don't. The intention was not to drag you.
Read the comment out loud, child.
I read the context of it. I mean, all right, my bad.
I was confused. Just correct me. Is it necessary to drag me? I would just honestly say that we didn't drag you, because we had dragged you would have known, because I'm from Memphis. It would have hurt.
I just got dragged by Amber yet again for not reading verbatim the comment. Some comments I don't think deserve or require fully being read. The context of my response is good enough. But that's fair. That's fine.
Wait, A-Rob said, if you're doing Soledad, brother, I'm sure Jonathan Jackson Jr. would love to be on. Do you know him?
I'm in touch with him. I don't know if Kai is more or A-Rob is more in touch, but I'm in touch with John Jr.
Somebody connect me.
He in fact, he and I met. We met years ago when he was on his book tour for The Reductionist, I think it was called. He
Hold on,
came
I
by
read
the
back my
Africana,
outside. Hold on, I read back.
and he was on Love I Am, Relax Jab. Maybe it's an Amber. I'm perfectly relaxed. Just responding. He and I met. Yeah, John Jackson Jr. at Cornell years ago. He was up there giving a book talk, and then we've
Why
been
y'all
in
be on that
touch.
man back so bad? I know he light skinned, but let him breathe.
You know, I get it. See, Amber, it took me too many years to figure this out, but it is true. People they see me and they see this beautiful, intelligent,
man.
competent man, and then the light skin, you know, they feel a kind of way about it, so they have a reaction and make it about light skin and mixture. That's fine. I get it. I understand. I bring a lot to the table, and it can be overwhelming at times. But yeah, but anyway, John Jr. is and I don't want to be in his business, but he had a couple things in his personal life to overcome, and it looks like he was successful at that, and is returning to at least the social media streets. So I'd be happy to reach out and if that would help, and if others don't have a better line to him.
Yeah, you should also. This is a joke, but have y'all ever seen when have you seen those pictures? They be like, a man be talking about, I'm just going through a lot, and the whole time they just had a baby.
Yeah, no, this was a little bit different from that, but he is a father,
so
but
funny
a
to
little bit
me.
different from that. Yeah,
'Cause I say
and it would be.
They'd be like, I'm just going through a lot, and the whole time they just got a baby mama now.
Now I do remember. I wonder. I'll ask him about this if he remembers this, because one time we met years ago at an event at the now unfortunately gone Marinage Cafe Mawanage in DC, and we were at this presentation, and you know, John has a similar to me racial background and makeup. And after we had seen a presentation where the person talking was extolling the virtue of Black Americans seeing themselves as African, and I agree with that. And John didn't agree with that, didn't see the efficacy in that approach. And we had
I know what I'm talking about. My college ex, when he told me when he got another girl pregnant, exactly. They'd be like, I'm just going through a lot. And the lot is a new baby, or them fighting, gay allegations. It's usually one of those two. When they say they're going through a lot.
Okay. All I will say is when it comes to John Jr., neither of those two were the issue that I'm speaking of.
I'm talking about niggas separately. Either they just had a baby or they're just fighting back against their sexuality. That's literally it. That be the going through a lot. And it'd be so funny to me. You're like, bro, you're really not going through anything. Just go be gay. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't be on Twitter because the Twitter stuff be so funny. Anyways, I look at a lot of memes on Twitter. I spend a lot of time doing that. So yeah, but no, I wasn't talking about that, man. I'm talking about
if for some reason linking up with John Jr. directly doesn't happen, if you go to the Freedom Archives website, they have a whole bunch of great stuff, but they also have these audio. I believe they have the audio version of Soledad Brother, which had John Jr.'s introduction in it, where John is narrating it.
I just want to agree with Yipper that Elon, you did do this, because it specifically made me start thinking about those Twitter memes to where I started laughing on camera because I'm visually remembering them. But yeah, I actually do have empathy. Somebody was talking about empathy, Amber. I actually have a lot of empathy. I think I'm too nice sometimes. I say it a lot. To be real. But can you send me the link for that too, Jared, for the archives?
I mean, you would have to, you could just look for it the way I would have to by just going to the Freedom Archives website.
Wow.
Because I don't
I
have
want
the
to read
link handy. So
comments
all
too.
I'd be doing is doing exactly what you would have to do.
I want to read Maggie's comment too, which is not at Elon saying, let's move on after opening this door. And I also just want to say they said it so smooth too, like, let's move on. Like, no attitude, like, all right, guys, let's move on. And having met Elon, I know that that's just how they talk, and it's just so funny because I was like, yeah, they meant that.
Maybe this is gonna be more
A-Rob said,
difficult than I
are we
thought.
sure Amber isn't the one hyped up on energy drinks? First of all, I don't think we should bring up traumatic situations. Okay. Them niggas put me through a lot with them energy drinks. Secondly, I can't drink energy drinks because I have ADHD and they make me sleepy. So definitely not on energy drinks. They don't work on me. I don't know. Oh, Dirty. We should ask him. They said, now I'm curious about John Jr.'s position on Black Americans' African identity. We should ask them.
Yeah, I mean,
this is like on air or nothing. I just want to know.
I'm briefly remembering a conversation we had many years ago, but that actually probably never got finished. But I just remember that he just thought that there was, you know, better ways of reaching or self-identifying and reaching an appropriate political analysis. So, you know,
yeah.
But
Stono said, yeah, cancers are empathetic to a fault. My mama cries so much. And I just want to say, I actually do not cry actually much at all. But that's a personal choice for me. But my twin sister can literally cry from me looking at her too hard. Like, I have FaceTimed her before and like looked at the camera and she looked at me and I looked at her and the bitch just started crying. I said, I don't know what's wrong with you, but you need to suck that shit up. This is just too much. So I do understand the empathy thing though, because I feel like it's an empathy overload with her. I feel like I am empathetic, but I don't like it doesn't come out too much. Like I feel the empathy, but I don't necessarily feel the need to like express that super like loudly. But that's just me. But my sister, yeah, no, she gonna cry like a lot. Oh, maybe they didn't know I had a twin sister. Oh, I just thought about that. Oh well, now you know.
That is interesting. I didn't know that. That's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
So someone mentioned, just quickly, someone mentioned this earlier, and I just looked it up very quickly. Fat Joe is being sued for $20 million by former hype man in explosive complaint. Alleges rapper engaged in sex acts with minors and coerced him into more than 4,000 sexual acts to maintain his standing. Fat Joe's former hype man Terrence T.A. Dixon has filed an explosive lawsuit in federal court against the rapper on Thursday. Dixon is alleging that his former boss, whose real name is Joseph Antonio Cartagena, engaged in a coercive labor exploitation, financial fraud, sexual manipulation, violent intimidation, and psychological coercion. Dixon adds that the hip-hop star behind such chart toppers as What's Love got rich and famous while he and his associates deliberately suppressed, silenced, and erased Dixon's substantial creative, artistic, and commercial contributions, which were foundational to Fat Joe's professional success and personal brand. He is seeking up to $20 million in damages.
Baby, the lawsuit's been going wild this week. Oh my God.
It's Chitty Matcha. I promise you, I had that very similar thought as I was reading that. 4,000, where do folks get all that energy? That's what I said. 4,000 sexual acts. How many
damn,
how many have I had in a lifetime, much less in a working relationship with a rapper? Goodness gracious.
It's too much. There's a few questions
yeah.
I want to address.
Are you identical twins?
You're not identical twins. I just said she's your skin color, Jared.
Your twin is my skin color.
Yes. My twin sister is your skin color.
Oh, wow.
Here's a picture of us.
Energy drinks and cocaine. Oh, yeah.
Don't that look like you, Jared? I'm just playing.
Once upon a time, once upon a time, I was almost that brown. That's what's a little bit. I have a healthy self-concept, but that is a little bit disappointing. I can't front. It's a little bit disappointing.
See her?
Oh.
She looks just like me.
Yeah, 30
Um,
years ago, I manifesto his color 30 years ago.
but they said if
Yeah.
we had been the same skin color, we would have been identical. Because they thought we were in the same sack for a while too. But they also thought I was a boy the whole time, so definitely was gonna be fraternal from jump. Because they couldn't tell.
Mm.
Because I would not move or turn around, and so they thought I had a penis because they said I could not see clear enough. So my name was gonna be Jeremy, and my mama found out when I was getting born that I was a girl, so she named me Amber. And they specifically could not get me to come out. They took forceps and pulled me out, and the lady said I rolled my eyes at her when I was born, and I said that's because you should have left me where I was good at.
Have y'all seen Dr. Ball's Patreon AI photo? What are we talking about there? What Patreon AI photo do I have?
Yeah, what you been doing?
I don't know. That's that now I'm confused. What's my what I'm what Patreon I don't you no I do are you talking about the photo for my HBCU office hours photo, that AI picture of that I use as me, where I just put in light skinned, bald, beard, professor.
A-Rob said, Amber, we knew about your haram before we knew you had a twin. I feel like the fact that there's two of you is worth the conversation. What do you mean by my haram?
I think they mean harem because haram makes me think of what's
Of Muslim,
against
like,
Islam,
religion?
right? Yeah, I think
Okay,
they mean
that's what I was
harem.
thinking. Oh, my harem. Okay, so I will say that I tend to be one of those people that keeps my like social media and other stuff about me. Yeah, that's what it was. So because harem is spelled haram is spelled HARM. So
Right,
you meant
right.
harem. Got you.
Harem, yeah.
Yeah, I tend to keep my social media stuff about me. So like people who know I have a twin sister is usually like my friends on Facebook, because that's my family, or like when I post about her sometimes on my stories. But um, in true cancer fashion, everything's really about me. So I kind of tend to keep things in that narrow thing. And so harem falls in that because they're the niggas that's dating me. So I just think that that's what it was. But I do talk about her. Love I Am asked a question earlier. I couldn't find it anymore, but he asked if my sister was as politically active as I am, and my sister is actually. My sister is just as revolutionary as I am. My sister probably calls the cops pigs more than me. She do not fuck with them. She actually lives in Denver, and when she had first moved there, she went to a protest and somebody shot at her. This police officer shot her with a rubber bullet, and I almost went to fucking jail because I'm trying to understand what's wrong with y'all. So she do not fuck with the police, but she really never has, and has the same like revolutionary stances as I do. Very much like in a similar political ideology. She's an abolitionist too. My mom is the only one who is the oddball out. Actually, hated for her because two against one, we're gonna win. So she be going through it because we be on her, and I'd be like, and so why did you think that was a good? Why did you think that was a good ideology to have? And then my sister would come in and be like, yeah, because that's oppressive, and then she's going back and forth. It's so good, but yeah. Oh, really? Hold on. Oh, Dirty said I moved from Memphis to Denver too. I find that a lot of niggas from Memphis move to Denver because the weed is legal, sadly.
Mm.
But I also find that a lot of people tend to move from Memphis to Denver or to California or up north. It's not much in between. Love I Am said, what about your daddy? What about him? And then Yoel said twins are always harassing their mama, identical or not. I agree. We are. I agree. It's very much always 2-on-1, and it's very fun. I think she'd be having enough of our shit. But yeah, she's very politically active like me. That rubber bullet shit had pissed me off real bad. Like a police officer she was sitting on the curb. Like she had left the protest, she was sitting on a park bench. A nigga walked up to her, just shot her. I said, what's wrong with y'all? Like, how is you cool? What? I wanted her to move after that, but that was 6 years ago. She obviously has not moved back. So, she's living her best life up there. Except the cost of living is very, very expensive. You know, this is funny. Amanda Fessel said Amber and her sister are like Smoke and Stack. And honestly, I would agree. Because we be getting into some shit. I don't know. But she definitely is the more quiet, sneaky, manipulative, reserved type. Somebody earlier was talking about how cancers can be manipulative. That is my sister. My sister is very good in like instigating things and like does it really sneakily. And I am very like loud. So obviously I'm not doing shit sneaky. But yeah, very similar in that way. It's very interesting. Having a twin is very interesting, I will say. Yeah. My harem is kind of dying, y'all. Actually, I need to re-up. Ugh. But the summer just begun. So, you know.
So speaking of which, I have to get out to it. So unfortunately, I have to start to wrap up at least my contribution to this morning's program.
Why you gotta leave? Somebody, I just want you to know somebody clicked the heart as soon as you said that.
I'm not mad at it. I agree. I would be happy to see me leave as well.
I love having conversations with you, Jared.
Likewise, Amber. These are great. But the real issue is I have an appointment to get the air conditioning in my car fixed.
Oh,
that I have to go. And yeah, especially because we finally about to hit this 80s and 90 degree weather.
It's already
Love I Am your harem. I've never had a harem. Love I Am.
He clearly told y'all that nigga met one lady and locked in.
As soon as she smiled at me, I focused up. Yeah. So I have been very fortunate to have anyone pay me any attention for any amount of time. And so you know, yeah, I can't mess with it. Zenzabel, me too, Jared. The AC in my car is hot too. I sure shot too. It immediately. I sprung into action immediately. I was like, I absolutely not. Absolutely not, because we were like the last in my friend group as a kid. I was the only one that never had a car with air conditioning. I grew up with I'm traumatized by all throughout high school. Didn't have a car with air conditioning until I came back from the Navy, and I'm not playing around no more. I don't mess with that. So that's you want to test my bouginess? Turn off the AC. The collapse begins immediately.
How I feel about being hot, man. The air was out of my house. I said, I'm finna go. I can't do this shit.
Yeah, bougie privilege, Love I Am. You got it. Absolutely. 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 I can't mess with it.
In the world, being hot is not one of them.
And hot in a car? Mm-hmm. Nah. In DMV traffic?
I'm real susceptible to like heat rashes and stuff too. Like I'll get a heat rash real quick. So I have to make sure I stay cool. I can't be doing that. I can't handle it.
And all you need to do to make sure Jared don't be somewhere is tell me there's no air conditioning. That's it. You I see you later. I see you later. I see. Is my brother still in the chat? The last time I remember being that hot and uncomfortable was in some of them churches that I went with him on tour when he was speaking throughout the South. Some of these churches,
what was he throughout the South about?
Oh, my brother, y'all don't know.
Because your brother is so cool. Y'all talking about me, not talking about my sister. Jared's brother is so cool.
He is. So at the time, it's been a long time now, but at the time he was so my brother, and I do kind of like to brag about this. He is the last officially named national spokesman of the Nation of Islam. And at the time we were on this tour in the mid 90s, or the late 90s, he was the Southern Regional Minister. And we were on this tour when Ben Chavis was becoming a Muslim and was being introduced by my brother to many of the ministers and the people throughout the South. And I went on this week or so long tour, 2 weeks, I don't know, and went to a lot of small Black churches throughout the South. They were speaking there. And because Chavis had this whole speech about how he went, how people shouldn't be alarmed at his going from being a Christian to a Muslim. And he was speaking to all the, so it was, and my brother can speak his ass off, very motivated, very good with it, very, very moving, had me ready to put on a bow tie, everything. I was,
I
like
had you
all of
ready to
that.
put on a bow tie.
Absolutely.
But
Very,
he wasn't
very,
converting people. He was just like speaking about.
I mean, it's like tacit invitations at least to convert and but it's I am susceptible. I've always said I'm susceptible to the halftime speech. I have to be very careful. And people start talking that good word and getting, with that certain energy and a certain vibe. I'm like, "Yeah, sign me up, coach. Put me in the game, coach."
Put me in the game.
And he's very good. He's always been very good at that. So, but in some of those churches, I mean, we would be in there and there's no air conditioning. And it was just, I just remember like soaking into the pews. Like, man, how are people doing this, man? Like, this is like the
Seriously, I can't
commitment
do
to the Lord is severe. Cause I've been like, my God puts air conditioning in my church. If he wants me in there, he'd have had AC. But
Ricky
yeah,
said, Brother Jamil, bring us to the mosque. I know that's right.
I'm telling you, the last time when he spoke in Baltimore a few years ago, my wife and my daughters went, and I loved it. I loved it. I loved a couple of the, some ministers like they'd still take their little shots at Malcolm. It'd be little slick little things sometimes. You gotta kind of let it go. But the experience, and he's very good. My brother is very, very good at sermons, at giving, so yeah, that was dope. That was very dope. And I would go to the mosque to see him speak again. I mean, and I liked seeing, and I liked seeing my wife, they had to do the head wrap and sit separately. I didn't like that part, but they looked beautiful. I was like, okay, maybe, what I'm saying, little Islam doesn't hurt nobody.
I wasn't doing no fucking hair wrap. This too goddamn much. You see all this damn hair?
Would you say Raul Jab is reachable? Somebody saved a poor man's unfortunate soul like Ursula or like Remy Zero. Wow, I don't know if I get all those references, but thank you for the attempt.
I knew you wasn't.
I was thinking about it. I was like, this could work.
Ursula, like from Little Mermaid.
Love I Am, Do You Kneel and Put Your Head Against the Mat? No, that was actually always one of the things. I have a hard time with the submission part.
Me too. I ain't doing that shit.
Yeah.
Because the God I serve don't want me doing all that. He ain't requiring all that.
But
last times, baby said they gonna buy me a hair wrap. You can buy me a hair wrap and I'll never wear it.
Really?
I don't wear stuff on my hair. One, because I like the freedom of expression of having my hair like just be what it wants to be, but also the pressure gives me headaches. I can't do hairstyles. I can't like wrap stuff tightly around my head.
Well, speaking of pressure, unfortunately, I'm feeling the pressure to schedule. So, Amber, do you want to let folks know about anything coming up? Anything you want to?
I'm going to Juneteenth shit this weekend. I'm gonna be black as hell all weekend, turned up, and I hope that y'all are too. So yeah, have a good weekend, guys.
Jared X does have a good ring to it, don't it? Though Jared, although they do Muhammad now, I'd be more likely to be Jared Muhammad if Yedid Muhammad. I like it. Sounds tougher. Jared Ball sounds. I've never really liked my name. I rep it because it was given me, but
you're killing me.
Jared
slowly.
Ball. I like that. Yedid Muhammad. All right, listen, everybody. Please do. Saturdays with Renee has already been pre-taped, and it's fantastic. I got so amped at being told that I was right that I made a preview clip that you can all start with today if you haven't seen it already, just so you could get that advance. Jared was right dose that you all need. Beyond that, the discussion with Dwayne Monroe, Renee, and Mtume was fantastic. Please don't miss it tomorrow. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, have the bell rung. Go back and miss any of the other offerings on the platform that you've missed. Please do get yourself some shirts and mugs and bucket hats for the summer.
For sure. Gotta keep your head from getting too hot.
And big thanks to you, Amber, for better late than never, and for the undefeated chat for holding us down. Another great week of the Remix Morning Show is complete. Peace, everybody. Only if you're willing to fight for it, like Fred Hampton used to say. And we'll see you next time with more Remix. Peace.
Remix. 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 Remix.